Hi, Siris.
How you doing?
So I have a discussion we could talk about.
What's on your mind?
Let's talk about finance from let's talk about economics.
Okay.
So we could talk about things like the concept of the American dream,
Okay.
fiat money. I said that kind of weird. Fiat money. We could talk about debt, and we can tie it into like the conspiracy of the New World Order, the one world system. So, real quick, what's the American dream? How is it sold to us?
The soul, as the American dream is living your life. Whether it's getting a house, those two cars, sometimes three cars, three kids, the dog. Basically, living the dream that was pushing Hollywood when Hollywood was actually more sane than now. Now the dream, I don't know what the dream
Out
is
of
now.
control.
Yeah, now it's just out of control. I don't even know they don't even push that anymore. I don't know what they push now.
Now they push. At first, it seems like there was two different degrees of it. The first level was just buy the house, buy the car, get the perfect house and family for your the white picket fence, a dog, kids, and a wife. So people buy into that, but to get the girl, you need to have the car. So people buy the car. That puts them in debt. Then to impress the girl, you gotta take him out. So you gotta have like a profession. You have to have the nice clothes. That puts them in debt. So in essence, people are spending money that they don't have, putting themselves more in debt. Just to live the American dream. So the American dream is you have the car, you get the girl, you get the house. So let's just say they marry the girl. So she has to have a big wedding, more thousands in debt. Get the house. Okay, that's going to put you $100,000 in debt. So now you have a car, you have a house. They sell the dream like you have to go to college. Absolutely. So you have to go to college. You put your kids to college. You get student loans, more in debt. So in essence, to live the American dream, you're creating an illusion to seem like you're perfect, based on materialism. However, your house, your car, your financial student, everything is in debt. So now you have to be enslaved into the system as being a worker. So, is that really the American dream?
Oh, I mean, the American dream is an illusion. But if you're talking about the concept pushed, the American dream really is just a mechanism for certain people who are benefiting from that dream to keep power.
Right, that's what I think too.
The American dream is real for them in terms of it's an instrument that they use to implement it, to solidify their power.
Right. Because when you really analyze it, it's like we're kind of like sold this dream, but in essence, they say have the girl, have the house, but whatever, the perfect man, and then everyone's doing this, and then it's really, then you're stuck with each other, but then what happens is people stuck with each other and they have financial burden, and then the divorce rate is ridiculously high because everyone's living an illusion. And then what happens is now with the newer generation, because the American dream is an illusion, they say everyone's being pushed with materialism. So now it's all about, let's get the Maybach, Rick Ross. Let's get, let's get like, you have to have the perfect nose job, you know what I mean? So what happens is then now it goes into just swag. The era of swag eventually shows up. So then what happens? So then it's like, okay, so now we're all, or most people are living within their means, and then it's all just to look superficially successful. Yeah,
but I mean, you gotta understand. I mean, you're right in everything you're saying, but at the same time, the whole system has been an illusion for a long time. So anything illusion, if you buy into illusion, you're never gonna do as good as the people creating the illusion.
Right.
But the whole thing is the system is collapsing, it looks like, on many levels, in many countries, many different parts of the system.
Well, and then what happens is because like America and the United States, it's collapsing, but then what happens, then it goes into the whole, economic hitman, creating, we can go into that as well, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think in the end of the day, I think people, I just come from a more hard or old school mentality. I just think people have to take responsibility for their own self. For me personally, If I leave a steak and for my dog, I'm not gonna blame the dog for eating the steak. I just come from that school.
So what is the analogy? What are you implying?
Implying that people have to take responsibility for their own selves in the end of the day. And then you choose to buy into illusion. Norm Chaucer said a long time ago, if you want to stop terrorism, stop participating in it.
I think he said it in the last video.
Well, he said that?
No, you said that.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about he said it though.
No,
That's one of my favorite lines.
Right.
Because I just think it's real. I'm not an enabler. You know, people in the end of the day.
True.
You got to be responsible for your own
But that's not
self.
what I'm saying though. What I'm saying though is this whole it didn't start from you and I. It started. To me, it seems like it's been a systematic setup where it's this whole package of American dreams, the whole package of you have to go to college, the whole package of you have to have the newest special car. You know, now everyone has to have the newest phones. Like we're being sold into capitalism, and it's funny because we're the ones that are buying all these new products that are being sold out, the newest technology, the newest cars, the newest phones, the newest gadgets, but there's really no jobs here. There's no jobs here. The people overseas are making, it's saying like the people overseas are like making the product to sell back to the American corporations who are selling it back to the people. So we're kind of like the sheep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if that's say we're the sheep. I mean, most populations around the world are sheep.
No, I know, but I mean when it comes to commercialism and like we are so, besides Japan, I guess you could say they are too. Like, you know, we're buying into it, but we don't really have the money to. So what I'm saying is like, you know, like the cartoon we saw the one day that's like everyone has a net worth. So if you owe credit, your net worth's going to be negative. So most people are running around with negative 20 if you owe 20,000. If you owe $5,000 in debt. So if a bum asks for $1 and he doesn't have any credit cards, you give him $1, guess what? That bum is, by logic or logistics, is a lot more worthy than you because he has $1, which is a plus. Everyone else is in debt. So the thing is, we need to look at the way of stopping debt. Shutting down your credit card and paying off your bills, as crazy as sounds, because you know then it goes into that concept of fiat money made out of thin air. So why don't you go ahead and explain that, like the fiat money concept?
I mean, money in the past used to be backed by gold, sometimes by silver.
Right, it's like trade.
Meaning that if $1 had to be worth a certain amount of gold, a certain amount of silver.
Right.
Eventually, as some people started to see that, we started running out of that material, or it became more beneficial to start printing money, and basically it's kind of like monopoly money. It's literally what it is.
It's technically a monopoly.
It's like everybody's playing different currencies, euro, the yen, and the worth of it is based on what somebody else's money is, which is all based on thin air. Right. It's kind of like monopoly, like when you play with 5 friends and you have fake money.
Right.
And I think what happens is that in itself, once that got implemented, and then not only did it get implemented, even the professional traders, investment people started to say they stopped getting people to even stop investing in gold and silver. They stopped trying to do that and got into stocks, which is still based on money. Mm-hmm. What started happening is that the system started to get more, the illusionary part of the system started to actually get implemented more. Mm-hmm. And what's happened now is that, yeah, of course people are in debt, but the countries are in debt now. And at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons why the whole system is collapsing, because it was all based on illusion. Mm-hmm. And in a sense, that illusion is coming to full circle now.
And to go ahead and like just complete the thought, like you said, like they had, everything was based on trade, which was basically minerals and stuff like that. And then once you have fiat money, which is just made out of thin air, and then you have it taxed on interest, then now the interest just creates more money out of thin air, which that interest is not really actually printed money. It's just made up money out of nowhere. So then it becomes more of, like you said, like a Ponzi scheme, right? Yeah.
So I mean, at the end of the day, it is like it's come back on us now. So for me personally, I just think that it is what it is. Like,
what do you think the ramifications of it coming back to us?
The whole system is just going to fall apart, literally. Straight up, eventually, people fighting in the streets.
What would it take to get to that point, though? You know what I mean, obviously we're living on, thin ice, but like, what would it take, you think?
I mean, when you say what does it take, you gotta understand this: one thing I'll give them a lot of credit for, they have mastered, is that people are sleeping so much that if it happens in one or two places, nobody pay attention to it unless it happens to them. Mm-hmm. So my whole thing is, I mean, when somebody says, "What does it take to get to that point?" It's already happening in certain places.
Yeah, so
I don't. I mean, in Cyprus, I mean, they closed the banks down because they didn't want people to take their money. So I mean, in Brooklyn, they had parts of Brooklyn shut down.
What they were going to do is they were trying to tax people's savings account or something like that.
And that's my point. Like, it's happening already. So when somebody says, "What?"
But they turned it down. But go ahead.
What does it take for it to happen? It's happening already. It's just that people don't pay attention unless it happens to them. That's the difference. But the whole problem is that type of stuff can happen in the blink of an eye. To be honest. Or I mean, how long did it take New Orleans to get crazy when Katrina started? Not that long.
That's true, but my thing is, what if this is, going back into this whole American dream? What if this whole American dream was basically a big genius plan to get us to buy into an illusion that most people bought the illusion, and then now they're stuck into it. And we could say the blame game you should have known, but maybe people are waking up now and saying, "Wait a second, we're all in debt." So then what happens is you don't want it to fail because, like I said, the concept is too big to fail. Because if it fails, then it's going to go crazy. So then that's when they say, oh, we have a savior plan, New World Order, one money system. Just one financial system. It makes it easy across the board. We'll start all brand new. Do you think that would be a possibility?
I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I've heard people say that, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, how would you implement that?
You just say, look, if it fails, good luck, get your guns, shackle down, survival of the fittest. If not, this is the only way we can keep it going. So you guys can they fed us a comfortable life, and they say it's going to fall apart. If you want to have the lights on, comfortable, and not have people riot in the streets like Katrina or whatever, then you need to accept this.
I've heard that.
I think that's how it would have to happen.
I've heard that theory and stuff like that, and I can see why people come up with it. I just don't think it's happening. I just don't think they have the mechanism to get every single country to go into one economy, one currency anymore.
No, not right now. But I think what happened when it comes to the point when it just keeps right now it's slowly breaking down, but once it starts majorly breaking down, you know what I mean?
I can see. It sounds nice in theory.
No, I'm not saying it's nice. No. Please don't say I'm supporting it.
No. I'm saying it sounds sound in theory, but I don't see. I think that was the plan that they had in the past.
Hypothetically,
and they wanted it to happen.
If it was.
First of all, they don't even have. There's too many. The power structures of the world is too broken up now. China and Russia.
That's true.
Doing their own thing.
They're not gonna
really have that anymore. Like, it's not like when it was a whole European America show, Israel show, you could do that. You can't really do that anymore.
So I think the solution would be, for now, since it's not breaking down yet, I said that if you really want to stick it to them, pay off your debt. So they can't make money off of you. Like, don't stop being materialistic. Stop, trying to live without your means. Live more simple. Pay off your debt, and then therefore they're not going to be making profit off you. As simple as it is. It's probably the most wisest thing to do. And then therefore, when you pay off your debt, instead of paying $500 for a credit card, you pay $500 for your savings account, and then you can invest in those metals that that will be so much more valuable than fiat money that we're all using now, because that's going to be the heavy hitter money when it comes to a crash or something at that level.
Yeah, I agree. I think people should. I think that's good advice for people. For me, I just think people have to transform on all levels. And all levels. Eat healthier, pay off your debt, just start being a critical thinker again. Because at the end of the day,
simplistic living
people talk about, connecting back to nature. At the end of the day, how many people are in college now, or went to college and can't get a job, or came out of college?
Sometimes I think finance, the student loans is a part of the system.
Well, student loans are big problems, but the big problem is actually the education.
Right.
How many people go to college and they're idiots? I'm just keeping it real. Like, we don't produce critical thinkers.
Of course not.
So this is why they go to other countries. Let's be real. This is why they go to other countries to get talent. We don't produce critical thinkers. People have degrees, and the degree is there to help you get a job. It's not really there to make you excellent in that field, if that makes any sense. So we could go on this all day, but I'm sure we'll talk about it in another video.
All right.
Till next time.
Peace.
Peace.